Just go out there leisurely and try to hit the ball and try to keep it out of the water and not hit birds, which, can be difficult for me at times.
So Jackie, what'd you make on that? She's been killing me,
I know.
Brian. She's been killing me with these golf picks.
He's been excited about it.
Welcome to VP and an Opinion.
Well, welcome to VP and an Opinion, the right name for this show. We have Jackie. She just waved. And we have a special guest, Jackie's dad, Brian. How are you, sir?
I am good. How are you today?
I'm great. How is Jackie today?
Wonderful. I got Starbucks this morning. Always the best way to start the day.
I have my Diet Coke, as usual. So, we wanted to have Jackie's dad on. He wanted to hang out with us. He's loved our first few episodes and what we've been doing and the chemistry and camaraderie and all that. So we're like, I'd love to have him on. And our goal is to have more non-traditional golfers on, right? Like non-traditional, players and stuff. The average man like myself to play golf and, or even ones that are just occasional golfers. So we got some questions for you.
All right.
So what's your background with golf? Do you have any background in golf? Or your golf game?
I started playing a little bit, not after high school, just messing around with some friends, and then went to work, and then we'd have picnics on for work, and we'd play golf on there, but really that's been about it. Just go out there leisurely and try to hit the ball and try to keep it out of the water and not hit birds, which can be difficult for me at times.
That's funny. There's some great videos on YouTube with golfers hitting birds, but who's your favorite golfer?
Right now, or just...
All right, well, so who was your favorite golfer when you first got into golf?
I like Jack Nicklaus. And Lee Trevino. And I like Trevino also. Just the personality,
Trevino's awesome. Yeah. Like he's the one that has the famous quote, like there's no stress in life or something like that, like playing for $5 with $1 in your pocket or something. I think
that's right. Yeah.
Like that.
Yep.
That was fantastic. So what about today? Who's your favorite golfer? And you can't say Jackie.
Well, today I like the LPGA Tour more so than the PGA Tour, just because I like how the women don't hit the ball as far, and they have to be better shot makers than the men. I mean, a guy can drive a ball 375 yards and have a 75-yard chip. Where the women, They don't hit it that far, then they have to make a shot. I mean, I like Nelly Korda. I like Annika Sorenstam. I mean, I just really enjoy watching them play. But on the men's side, I mean, probably like jump on a wagon like everybody else. It's Jordan Spieth. I mean, because he got the Grand Slam. So I was so happy for him last week when we won the Masters, or 2 weeks ago. I mean, we won the Masters. That was great.
Right. So you mean Rory? You said
Rory.
Jordan.
But, Rory.
Yeah, Rory. Yeah, you're fine. Rory McIlroy. Yeah, he won his Grand Slam, got his jacket. It was pretty cool. Jackie and I. Well, I mean, I'm sure you listened to it already. We had some good. That was a good episode talking about all that.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
There was a period of time when Rory was like the, I guess, face of the PGA Tour, right? When LIV came up. Do you think, did that like affect your view of him in any way? Because I know for some people, it like either had a positive or negative impact on their view. So it's always interesting to hear, thoughts on that.
I mean, it didn't really bother me. I mean, the LIV Tour is. I mean, the problem with the LIV Tour is we can't see it. I mean, you don't watch it. It's not on TV. So, I mean, the guys are making a whole bunch of money, which is great, I guess. I mean, never see them anymore. You see them in the four majors is about it. So, it's like, out of sight, out of mind. I mean, I didn't even realize Phil Mickelson was still playing until last week or 2 weeks ago. And it's like, oh, he's still playing. Oh, wow, okay. I mean, to me, it's just like...
Yeah, unless you're like really digging for the information or following it, it's hard. It's like I follow the live tournament. Try to. Um, Phil like almost won or was really close to winning in the individual the week before the Masters, right? The
Okay.
live event right before, which I thought was cool because he's older, he's up there, still competing with some of these younger kids, younger guys.
Right.
That was really cool. So, if you were to go out today, would you rather go play mini golf or would you rather go to like a Topgolf?
Topgolf. That way, I get
Okay.
to play, swing more different clubs, more clubs. Try to,
Yeah.
get back in the swing of things. So I mean, mini golf is like okay, whatever. But top golf is to me is more fun. Go out there, hang
There
out
you
with a
go.
bunch
It
of
is.
friends.
Yep. Do you do that? Have you done that?
I've been to top golf 3 or 4 times. Go out
Okay.
and go out there and actually Jackie showed me it. We were playing. We were at a work function and we were at top golf and Jackie came back from school and everyone bet $1 to see who get the most points and Jackie didn't have her clubs. She just went out, just grabbed this random 7-iron, and just started hitting it. And it's like, what are you doing? It's like, you can hit your driver or whatever. So like, oh no, I'm here for points. Doing 7-irons, kept plopping it in, just plop it in. And a couple years later, the next year I was out there doing the same thing. And we said we're doing. It's like, all right. So I hit a club. It's like, wait a minute, I'm gonna pull out my inner Jackie. So I grabbed a 7-iron, and I won.
That's awesome. So did Jackie win? Did you win, Jackie? The money?
Did she win? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite was when her and her boyfriend went out to Top Golf, and she calls me. She's like, "I hope he realizes I'm gonna destroy him."
I know. I heard that. I'm going like, oh, he's okay. Well, either, either this is going to work out or it's not. The first out of the shoot, it's going to work or not. We'll find out. And then
No.
second one.
Yeah, this is the best.
Like I called, like all of my friends and I was just like, I like Topgolf because it really does level the playing field. It's like you don't have to be good at golf to go to Topgolf
Right.
and have fun and like earn points and you can even win. But then at the same time it's like you have people where it's like, oh yeah, I played golf in college, and then they're just like, but I can still beat you, right? Like that, you hear that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
At least being a female golfer, and I was just like, I think this is going to go well. However, I still hope that he knows that I'm not bad at golf. Like I know what I'm doing. But no, it was actually so much fun, and I ended up losing one of the games too. I was yeah,
Ooh.
I know.
Well,
Humbled.
baseball player. There you go. You can hit the ball.
He can. So.
Yeah, he's athletic too, so that helps.
Yeah.
All right, so where's the best or favorite place you've ever played golf?
Probably the best place I've ever played was Half Moon Bay Links, which was
Okay.
quite
Sounds-
it's beautiful. We played the course along the ocean, along the Pacific Ocean. It was beautiful. So
Oh, that
needless to say, I
sounds
lost a
amazing.
bunch of balls. You hit over a canyon. 3 or 4 go in there and pop it over the next time finally. But but it was fun. I mean, we enjoyed we had a really good time playing, and so that's probably the best place I've ever played.
That's awesome.
No, was that part of a golf trip, or have you gone on like a dedicated just golf trip?
I never have. No, that was for a conference we were at. I've never been on a true golf trip like that. And probably the closest I would say as a golf trip was when Jackie played her last tournament in college, collegiate tournament. We were in West Palm Beach, and my wife and I, we got there a couple days early. We went deep sea fishing, and we each caught a sailfish. So I would say that would probably be the biggest one I would call quote unquote golf trip, and we went fishing.
Just go watch Jackie play golf. Hey, that works. It's a
Oh, it was
golf
great.
trip.
Yeah.
And you went deep sea fishing too.
Yeah,
And you got to see PGA National.
that's right.
Oh, is that where you played, or?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, beautiful course.
I mean, this has nothing to do with golf, but I'm intrigued. Do they have deep sea fishing in California or the West Coast like
Yeah,
they have here?
yeah, yeah. I was.
Pretty cool.
I'm hoping to go
Same
out.
type of fish, or
I do. Yeah, I want to go out. I'm hoping this next year to go out fishing for bluefin for tuna fishing out of Southern California. They get bluefin, yellowfin, yellowtail. So, but up here,
we
like
can now the fishing side of you know outdoor sports with this podcast. I love that.
yeah. And if you
Um,
come to California in San Francisco Bay, you can catch halibut.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yep,
Very cool.
or or escapees from Alcatraz.
that's true. Yeah, one of the others snagged those boys.
You know what? You're gonna entice AJ to extend his West Coast trip because he's already talked about after his cruise going to Hawaii.
I might have to go visit your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, there's some pretty good fishing in Puget Sound also. We were up there. I was up there
Okay.
2 years ago, and uh, my wife and I and Jackie's sister Chrissy and her husband Chris, we went salmon fishing out there, Puget Sound. We ended up
Ooh,
we had our 8 salmon bite before noon. It was great.
now we haven't done it in a while. I know you and I have texted about this over the last couple of years. You know, I got my daughter, my youngest one. She wanted to try fishing.
Yeah.
We haven't done any in the last few months, but we probably went a good 6 to 7 times last year.
Okay.
And we still yet to catch one fish, but hey, whatever. We're not fishermen.
You're not
But
relying on that for dinner.
I was gonna say it's
yeah,
not
we
your
are not. Yeah, it's a good thing because I'd lose a lot more weight than what I already have. So.
There you go.
Oh,
All right, so if you could describe your golf game in one word, what would it be?
Horrible.
I love
And
that.
that
Yeah, I say that about myself too. Jackie, feel free if you want to ask some of these questions.
well, so what's interesting is okay, the normal, beginner golfer always has an issue with the slice. My dad hooks it, which is incredible. Like, it is incredible because
That's a lot
very
easier to
cool
fix.
thing. Yeah, so it's always been really cool because everyone else always just like slices it off of the face of the planet, but he just hooks it, which is a lot more playable. So that's always been really cool,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah.
God, it
Well, I
just
think
brings me back to my high school golf days of slicing off the planet, and you just turn that head over even more, aim even further left, and you just pew, it's crossed. Oh man.
I think because I played a lot of baseball and softball, the one thing I always say is to hit the ball on the ground, so you have to have your top hand come over. So when I golf, I have my base. I mean, I tried to have a golf grip, but my top hand still comes over. It's like it's so,
Okay.
and it hooks it, it's easier than a slice. Because when I try to correct it, and I do slice, like, oh good God, just hook it next time. Hook it next time.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah. People who prefer to play fades to me are insane because I feel like even a hook is more controllable than a fade is.
Right.
But like Seth is gonna yell at me for saying that. It's fine. I still think it's true. So
Yeah, I think so too. And it goes a little further, and it's more control. Like I said, it's more
Yeah.
controllable.
yeah.
I totally 100% agree with you. We'll take over on these questions, Jackie. Ask some questions.
Okay, so if you and AJ were to play a best ball, so basically you each play your own ball, and you take the best score between the two, what do you think you guys are gonna shoot?
I think we'd probably shoot. What's your handicap, AJ?
Yeah, what's my handicap, Jackie?
What did we decide? 15.5.
16? It was 18, but I'd say it's 16 today.
We would
But according to
probably.
Jackie, we're doing half
Yeah.
strokes.
I think we'd probably shoot 12, 13 over. Just from a
I think that
standpoint of because of playing with watching someone hit the ball that's better than I am. It helps me bring my game up as well. More concentration, more don't want to really embarrass myself, but it just raises to me. For me, it's always raised my game playing against someone better than me.
Yep. We talked about that before.
Yeah.
It really does. Even that happens to me too. Like if I play with like some of my coworkers or whatever, I always play better than just off with friends.
Uh-huh.
It's also more fun because you get to learn, right? Like you
Right.
get to learn how to play in a different way than you're used to. Um, I've always thought that is a good time. So,
It is.
okay, what is your favorite golf story ever? Like from your own experience.
Well, I said, I've hit a few birds, unintentionally. I was playing golf with a work tournament. Jackie was there, and there was a lake in front of us. And I was when there was a lake in front of me, I don't care what it is, I always hit the ball in the water. So I got up,
Both of us do.
I hit the ball, hit it really well, great
Oh,
drive. It it hooked into this tree, and a night heron fell out, hit the water. It's like,
yeah. I still think about that to this day. I'm just like, because I'm never gonna see someone do that again. Because you couldn't see the bird, right? Like it wasn't
no, it
like there was
was sitting in
a
a tree.
piece in front of you that you're like, oh, I don't want to hit it. No, it was like in a tree. You didn't see it. It hit the tree, and you just hear like see this bird fall, and I was like, that was so cool.
So no, but besides that, we had so I am in the passenger railroad industry. So we're purchasing locomotives up in Boise, Idaho, and we're up there quite a bit for those. And we played a course up there, and probably the best I had was there was one on a par. I eagled a par five.
Oh,
Just didn't do much rest around, but you know what? I hit a great drive, a
Hey,
great second shot, about 6 inches off the green, and I made the putt.
nice.
that's awesome.
That's just like that is for me that's the best, the epitome of my a golfing career, if you
That
want
is
to call it that.
You always have that one shot right that always
That's right.
brings you back. Yeah.
Yep.
And, like I have a fluke. Like I have a couple too. Actually, I have fluke. Like eagles on a par four, right? Where I just drain this, 100-yard shot or whatever goes in. The second one's not as. It's more funny because of my coworkers. I was playing. I think I was playing red tees on a par four. This was on the white number 2 on white at Keith Hills, Jackie.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so I had 189 left to the pin, and it hold out. And I was telling my coworkers at the time, I'm like, yeah, I just hold out from 189 on 2, and they're like, why were you 189 when the hole's like 240 from the red tee? I was like, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about the first shot.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You hold out.
2
That's
to
all that
2 on a
matters.
par 4.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it was to begin with. It's you hold out. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So, since you brought it up, why were you 189?
Because I topped the crap out of my tee shot. Well, because from the red tees, you want to lay up basically to that ravine,
Any
right?
tee, yeah, because you have like a
And
70-yard carry.
so like I just was just gonna punch out, like a 5-iron or whatever or 6-iron probably down the middle, and I topped it or towed it or something, and it just dribbles down like 50 yards in front of me, and I was like, oh, whatever. So I had 189 left and hold out. So
That's awesome.
That's great.
But I mean, that's why scorecards don't ask for pictures. Doesn't
that's
matter.
right.
That's right.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so if you could play in a foursome with any 3 people, so like they could be golfers, they don't have to be golfers, who would be in that group?
Well, you would be there, Jackie. Guys have fun playing with you. I'd want to play with AJ because I think it'd be fun. Then for a fourth, man, probably a guy I used to work with. Actually, a guy I used to work with, Doug Warner. He was always fun to play with.
I forgot he did play golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's to me that would be a great foursome, and we'd have a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we would.
That's
I love that question. Everybody wants to go like, oh, it'd be like Tiger and Jack and Arnold, which is cool. It'd be a great foursome, right? But I choose like my brother and my dad, right? Those would be definitely in my group. My dad passed away when I was 15, so. But that was something that we did together, when I was a kid, is we play golf. So I would definitely love to do that one day again. So
yeah. Well, I
that's
could say
actually top picture is a scorecard from
okay.
the last round my dad and my brother played together.
That's
So
awesome.
it's pretty cool.
So I
Sorry,
could say
Jackie, go ahead.
I could say like Jack or Tiger, all those guys. But you're what or Nelly Corda, Annika Sorenstam. I'd just stay in the golf cart at that point. That would be like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the point of playing? Just watching that up that close would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a very good point. Okay, so our final, it's a two-part question. But what is it about golf that like keeps you interested to watch and to follow? Seeing that it's not a team sport, right? It's not like football where we have the 49ers, and we follow them because that's our like hometown team, or like the Kings or the Warriors or something. The only time we have teams is when it's like the Ryder Cup or the Solheim Cup, and at that point, you're picking what country you're rooting for, and it's almost picked for you. So what about golf specifically is, I guess, interesting or intriguing?
there's so many good golfers out there today that can win on any given week. It's like you don't know who's going to be up there. I mean, Rory could be hot for 3 weeks straight and then have a bad week. And you could have someone that's 200th ranked 200th in the world come out and win a tournament because they got hot. They were on the waiting list to come in. Somebody dropped out. They got in the tournament. They had a great weekend. Or if they didn't win, they came in second or third. It's just seeing that is just it's exciting. It says it's there's so much competition out there. It's fun to watch because you never know who's going to be there at the end.
Yeah.
It's and then also it's with the men it's just on a PGA Tour it's like how far they're going to drive the ball today, and on the women it's I want to see the shot making.
Yeah.
That's
a very good point. I never thought of it. I mean, I've thought of it that way, but never thought of like why to watch LPGA versus PGA, right?
Yeah.
So
I guess a very good example of what you're talking about is the LPGA has the Chevron Classic right now, which is one of their majors. And this field was stacked, right? Like Nelly was playing, Lexi made her she's playing a partial schedule. She's playing this week. You have I think Lydia Ko was playing.
Yep.
Saganda, like people that I grew up watching were playing in this field. And then you look at the top three, and it's like names that you've never heard before. Like they're very, very good golfers, and like you look at their history. And I think it was one of the women leading. She played at Duke, right? All 4 years she was all conference, right? She had an incredible career, but like on the LPGA Tour, she just really hadn't like showed up yet. And then she's out here, 3 people are tied for first at 9 under. You have Lexi who's 6 under. She's only 3 back. So, it's moving day. It's like how are these, people in contention going to handle the pressure, and how are those people that know what that pressure is going to react?
Right.
So I just think that is something like I've always found interesting, right? Like, how is someone who's never been in the position to win going to handle being in the final group on Sunday? And who wants it enough to try to, like, not in a mean way, but like take it away from that person? Like, who has the mental strength to get to the finish line if somebody else doesn't? So
That's a good point.
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it would be crazy if Lexi came back to win, from three back, because she, I guess, like, retired right last year, but I didn't take it as her retiring. She was just playing like a shortened schedule,
Mhm.
right? Like, she was gonna
Yeah,
pick
I
it.
didn't realize that.
Yeah. Um, but like, she's been playing in professional tournaments since she was what, 12, 14.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
really
Yeah.
young.
I
Yeah.
think she can I think she can take a step back. You know,
100%.
I feel
Mhm.
like her whole life she's been scrutinized for things. And she's just in general like a very anxious player. So rather, like, people are questioning, like, I thought she retired. Like, no, I think she like retired. Like, it's like part-time work, right? Like, she's focusing on
Right.
bigger things, um, because she doesn't need to play a full schedule anymore,
Right.
right? And it's
She's
like
got her money.
fun to
Yeah.
watch her play when she's out there. But,
Very
yeah.
cool. Very
Yeah. Actually,
cool.
I was watching the LPGA Tour this morning before I hopped on here. So,
Who
That's
was
awesome.
leading?
oh, Jitanic
Oh,
Chan.
Jutanagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was
Oh.
tied at 9 under, and then Lexi dropped 3 strokes. She was back down to 3 under just before he came in. So, I hopped on here.
Jutanagon was someone that was like very, very popular in like 2016 to 2018. Like, she kind of dominated, or at least was in top tens a lot. So that name's pretty popular or well known for me, anyways.
Well, you played in a tournament she had up in Chico, California,
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah,
one
with
year. Yeah.
the AGA event.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
it was very,
That's cool.
yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think those were some awesome questions. Is there anything else you'd like to just share about golf or
Or
your
any,
experience of raising Jackie?
yeah.
What a troublemaker she was growing up, or
She, the one thing that I liked about Jackie is, um, she. I think the reason why she really liked why she liked golf to start with, because she could hit the ball, the living the daylights out of the ball. She hit the ball a long ways. It's like, this is fun. I'm going to keep doing this.
I
that's
didn't.
awesome.
And then it became
You
like,
do.
I want to get better. I want to get better. And, right now we live out in the country, and it's about, I don't know, half hour, 40-minute drive to the golf course. So, every Saturday morning, hop in the car, drive her to the golf course, turn around, come home. She practiced for, 2 hours, 3 hours. But problem is, about the time I got home, I get a phone call. Okay, I'll be ready to go in an hour. Well, turn around, drive back in, waste most all Saturday, but she had fun. She was having a good time, and that's all that
Right.
mattered to me. She was having a good time, having fun, and look at her now, working in the golf industry.
Well,
Yeah.
right. 100%. What was it like? Sorry, I'm making up questions now, Jackie. Um, what was it like when you found out she was going to college to play golf?
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. I was lucky enough to go with her when she went to Marshall for a visit, and that was, you met the team, you met the coach, and it was really good, very good experience. The coach, I mean, I think the one thing we worried about is what kind of education she's going to get.
Okay.
And the one thing the coach says, like, you'll be going to tutoring. You have study hall X amount of hours every week. You'll be doing homework on the road. You'll be doing this. I mean, and that's I mean, that was very impressive. And yet you're a student, true student athlete. So, I mean, I was very
Right.
excited about it. The only hard thing was being so far away. You
Right,
know,
because I mean, you got her in California. She's going to West Virginia.
yeah.
Had
So,
you ever been to West Virginia, Jackie? Before that?
No, nope. I think the furthest that I had been, like state wise, I'd gone to Oregon to visit Chrissy. I've been to like SoCal, which is far, but California, Nevada. Did I really travel that far? Like prior to that, like
eh,
in the
then
West?
you went to Hawaii, didn't you?
Oh, I went to Hawaii. Yeah, and then I guess in eighth grade I went on a trip to DC
DC, yeah.
when the
Okay.
government was shut down. Uh, so we got to do some like historic Jamestown and stuff like that. But I didn't. It was all organized for like school. So when we weren't doing that, we were just hanging out in the hotel.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else. That would be hard because you've never really been to the East Coast. One little trip to DC, and you're going. I mean, I guess the good thing is you guys where everybody thinks California, big cities and all that. It's not all like that. You guys lived in a small town. Like you said, 30 minutes from the golf course.
Yeah.
So that probably made it easier going transitioning to West Virginia to Huntington.
It
Yeah.
did. I think like culturally it was still very different. Um, but I think if I lived like in downtown LA, I think I definitely would have had an even bigger culture shock. Um,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
but overall it was really good, and I will say because I had visited a couple places, and when I went to Marshall, the one thing that I noticed was it was the only team that because like they're like, oh, hang out with the teammates. It was the only team that did not gossip behind somebody else's back to a recruit. It was the only team that was like, this team is our family, and we want you a part of that. And so I mean, there's a lot that went into that decision, but as for schools, like that was one of the biggest reasons I decided to go because it was like this is a team. Like golf being such an individual sport, you can take that however you want. You don't have to feel like a team. I wanted that. Like I was gonna be far away from my family, so why am I gonna go somewhere where I'm already like feeling like an outcast because of X, Y, and Z? But our coach did a very good job at making sure we felt like a family, right? Like she was there for us all the time. Um, and like now I like to consider her a friend still. So I was
Yeah, I'll
very
say,
lucky.
And
yeah.
Seth being there at that time too.
Yeah, and then Seth came in
Right.
and helped get me where I am today too. So
Well, that made it easier for me also for her to be so far away, is she did have a second family. If something
Right.
came up, there were, the coach was there, her teammates were there for her. So I'd get there when I could, but she
Right.
had something. She always had somebody there to be, for her. So that was very important. That put me at ease. Made it
At
a little bit
ease, right.
easier.
I feel that one. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
two little girls. So,
Yep.
well, one a year older than, well, no, a year younger than Jackie.
yeah,
And then I have a 10-year-old as well. So yeah, I get that part for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's been awesome. I love like all of that. We're gonna go into like the picks. I actually won a week by one shot.
wow,
She's been killing me,
I know.
Brian. She's been killing me with these golf picks.
he's been excited about it.
Well,
Yeah,
the
I'm
interesting
sure.
thing, you won by one stroke. Who'd you have last week? I can't remember.
He had
I had Jason Day. She had Colin
That's
Morikawa.
right. So I was sitting there while I was watching it on my phone, just seeing how it was going, and I'm looking at it, and Jackie's guy Collins, he finished like 3 under. I was like, okay. Then
Yep.
Jason's 4 under, through 16. I'm sitting watching. All of a sudden, looking, it's like, uh oh. He just bogeyed. He bogeyed 17. We're in a tie.
Yeah.
So you got, and then he birdied 18 to pull the win out for you. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
it's awesome to be able to follow. It definitely adds a whole new level of watching golf this year, right? Or
it does.
even on my phone. Um, like in the Masters, like I was posting like every day just because it was like our picks were in the final group. That was so cool.
Yeah, that was
Um,
crazy.
That was
what'd
awesome.
you say,
Yeah.
Jay?
I said that was crazy that our picks were in the final
Oh
three.
yeah, yeah. I mean that was just insane. But I was like watching it like on I think it was Saturday. It was either Friday or Saturday. I think it was Friday. I was like making sure Jason made the cut, right? I was like, step one, let's make the cut, right? Can't be Jackie if we don't make the cut. And so we made the cut, but it was like I think Colin was up by 2 shots over Jason on Friday, so or it could end Saturday, I think. So it came down to when I looked at the end of Sunday, I was like, oh, I did win. That's cool. So I finally got one. Jackie's got two. But now you get to pick against her too now. So we're gonna have a total of guest picks too.
All right.
So I have to pick first, which I'm going Joel. Oh no, I'm not.
No, you can take them
I
because
was.
you get the first pick.
That's true. Yeah, I'm taking Joel. Dang. You can type that in there. AJ Joel. Whoops, I can't type.
Okay. Let me
Good
look.
thing we established rules to this game.
I know.
So where are they playing at
And
next
you
week?
get to pick anybody.
It's the Byron
So
Nelson.
there's the Byron Nelson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our local hometown hero won the Byron Nelson back in like '92.
Who?
Neil, did you ever meet Neil Lancaster while you were here?
No. No idea. Let's see. Who am I going to pick now?
Yeah, and Brian, you get to pick somebody too.
Okay.
You can pick anybody that's playing,
Yeah.
Don't pick Rory. I don't think he's there.
I don't think so.
I'll take Tom Kim.
Tom Kemp, that's a good one. All right, let me add this to the sheet. Tom Kim. I like that. I need Joel Damon in a good headspace.
Yeah.
And then, who are you going to pick, Brian?
I'm going to take Jordan Spieth.
Perfect. Love that. I think we might both lose, Jackie.
I know, right?
I'm pulling for the guest or myself.
Isn't Jordan only one event away from the Grand Slam too?
He is, I think. Pretty sure.
I think he is.
He needs the U.S. Open.
Why do we not talk about like the possibility of him getting his Grand Slam? You know what I mean? Like it's always been like, oh, Rory just needs one more. Rory just needs one more. But then like we kind of like the thought of Jordan getting it has kind of like fallen off as a whole.
Yeah, he's I mean,
like he's been injured, but you know.
Oh no, so Jordan needs the PGA Championship, so
Yeah.
Okay.
he needs Bell Hollow next month.
Well, I think the reason why everyone was talking about Rory about the Slam is because the one tournament he needed to win that he hadn't was the Masters. You all think of the Slam as you have the Masters. That is it. You got to get the Masters. I mean, that's like Green Jacket, and Spieth has one great. Okay, he's PGA, whatever. But Spieth's like it's 17 years?
Yeah,
of trying to win the Masters, or 18 years. It was just like, yeah.
That's a good point.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so we got our picks in, and he is I'll put I put it in the spreadsheet already, but put Jordan here. That way it's in here. Jackie's taking Tom. Kim. All right. Do you have any golf coming up? You going to play any golf, Brian, coming up soon?
Hopefully, try to get out this summer. We got to do some work on our house. We had some water back up in the house. We lost half our house is being torn apart. So doing mostly a lot of that right now. Trying to get insurance in and but try to get out. Hopefully I'll get out in June, July, play a little bit of golf. So get early in the morning, get out there, get down before it gets too hot.
Right.
So I was thinking there's one thing you guys were talking about the golfers, the best. Like did you have conversation about the best golfer? One thing I was thinking about is like, Tiger Woods is amazing. But you look at all the majors. Who has played the best golf in the majors throughout their career? Just not winning, but placing in a top 5. And to me, it's like, what's that?
I said I know the answer because we've talked about this, so I'm going to defer, and AJ has to answer your question if he knows it.
So who's the best in the majors?
Yeah, who has been placed best in the highest in the majors over their career?
I want to say it's what's his name, Brooks Koepka. He's always played really well in the majors. No, that's not the answer.
I think it's Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah.
Jack. Okay.
And it's all his second and third place finishes in the majors.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, he had 18 wins, but it's that consistency every year being second, third. But it'd be interesting to see how does that list stack up. And I was thinking about it would be interesting is it's like with golf or it's like basketball or football. Who's the GOAT? But there is no GOAT.
Right.
You can't say it because Nicklaus was the best at his time. Sam Snead was the best at his time. I mean, can you imagine Sam Snead having today's technology? Or Tiger Woods having technology back in the 50s? How would that change the dynamics of golf? You can't overpower a course back in the 50s. Or today you can.
Right. That's a good point.
So,
I mean, technology as a whole for golf has. I mean, they're going to roll back the golf ball. Like, why are they doing that? Because technology has gotten so good that they can't make a course long enough anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to think about.
I think it was the U.S. Open last year or year before where they were actually like, the way they had to move tee boxes, they were like teeing over greens and while people are on the green, they're teeing over the top of them. It was crazy.
Oh yeah,
that is insane.
It's very.
So Jackie, do you have any golf coming up?
I don't think so. No, because I have my this coming weekend. I have my trip home. So it'll have to be after that. Yeah. I've been going to the range.
I'm going to Oklahoma. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What?
I said I've been going to the range and I got new wedges.
Oh, there you go. I need to go to the range a little bit. I'm going to Oklahoma for like 3 or 4 weeks, and in 3 or 4 weeks, help my brother and see some family, but like everybody that I play golf with out there is like injured and can't play. So my brother can't play, my nephew can't play. So I'm like, so I'm still gonna try to go and play and go to a couple Op 36 courses out there and play. So that'll be fun.
That'll be good.
Yeah. Might do like a Topgolf or something one night with the kids, my nieces and nephews or something. That'd be kind of fun. Take them all out there. And And then I do want to take my clubs because we're going to go to South Dakota. We're going to go to Mount Rushmore and, around that area for a few days as well. So I'd love to play a course out there, just some place I've never played, right? Just, a different climate that I've never played, right? So we'll see. Might find something out there to play. Let's see. I haven't really played anything. Jackie and I are gonna go to Topgolf when I go out there. So
Cool.
that'll
That'll be fun.
all right, Jackie.
So once you go top golf, you got to find an axe throwing place. Go
There
top
is-
golf, then
no.
axe throwing.
There's one nearby. That would be fun. I think there is one
We can do
nearby.
Okay, I'm down. I just did that for the first time. Like, I did it as a kid, just in the backyard. But we went to an axe throwing place for work a month ago. And it was
Okay.
all right. I didn't really like the particular place we went, but overall, it was a fun time. So I'm down for that. That'd be fun. Axe throwing and top golf, and we'll make competitions and we'll film it and put it on the podcast.
Oh, that'd be great.
I want your guys' opinion on this. So, last week, Joel Damon bogeyed the last 3 holes to finish tied for second and lose by 1 stroke. Okay? So, do you think, spectators have an expectation that the professional golfers handle that kind of stress in a different way than we do? Or, what is the expectation? When you see that, when you see someone going bogey, 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 what is your initial reaction to that?
For me, it just shows that they're human.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a person, and sometimes that stress will get you. You start pressing, you don't relax. You start pressing, you get in your head, and it just gets to you. And I think a lot of spectators are rooting for the person, whoever it may be, when they get like that. They want them just to come out of it because it's hard. It's hard to watch. You can see that they're just not. They're struggling mentally, and I think I think the gallery wants, and even on folks on TV or watch on TV, they're rooting for that person to just take a step back, take a breath, and just get back to it. Golfers have to have short memories. Yeah.
Exactly.
There was no last shot. The last shot, I didn't have a last shot. This is my first one. I got to forget it.
Right.
I love that.
I think so. In one of his interviews, he was like, "I blacked out. Those last 3 holes, I don't remember them." And he's like, "It's like I woke up when I made putt on 18 for bogey, and I was like, what just happened?" He was like, "What just happened?" But I think what's crazy is we just saw, I'm gonna say emotional golf, right? With Rory winning the Masters, that round. His last round was not emotionally steady at all. And that's okay. That shows that he is human. But then, the next week, right, you have Joel Damon going out, also playing what I would consider to be, an emotional round. That's stressful. He's trying to play good. I think he needs to play good this year, if I remember correctly, to keep his card. And it's if you were, for anybody, if you were rooting for Rory during his emotional round, you need to be able to relate to anybody who's having, allowing, stress or anything. Because it is, we're out there, I am always I need to finish strong, let me get off my bogey train. But, what, sometimes you don't, right? That's a lot to have to deal with. So I thought that was very interesting. And when he was I blacked out, I don't remember. That is, that's relatable. When you have a bad hole and maybe, you guys can relate, it's just you get done and you're how did I get an 8 on that hole? Right? What did I just do? Right? And Joel only made bogeys and he doesn't remember them. I want to be like that. Like, I want to not remember the bogeys instead of not remembering how I made an 8. Like,
Right. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The what was it? Like the top 10, top 25 guys, like they're getting all the money, but if you're, 30th or below on the money list, like you're struggling. Like it's a tough living, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they all have to deal with that, stress and travel and, away from their families. And, it's not they're not making, millions of dollars, like the top, 30 or 50 or whatever it is. So
Right.
they have a lot of stress to play this game.
At such a high level.
Right.
It's such a high level to have to play it at,
And
consistently.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I feel like I was talking to Dylan last night, and I was like, we always talk about basketball, like hockey, baseball. Like, they play a lot of games, right? And their season is pretty long. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is LPGA and PGA, their season is January to November.
Uh-huh.
And you're traveling pretty much, like, you can be traveling pretty much every week. Like, that's 40, like, up to 40 weeks a year that you're not home. You don't have any kind of consistency, right? And I don't think that's taken into consideration that much either. Like, when you think about, like, when people want to, like, judge or say something about, like, these golfers, like, but they're never in the same place. They're constantly traveling. They're constantly trying to improve and, like, be at the top of their game. Because, like you said before, like, Rory could be on a 3-week hot streak, but who's going to take his place when he's done? Like, that could be you, but that can't be you if you don't put in the, required practice and everything.
And that was a big push for the LIV guys too, right? Like the guys that went over to LIV. They're like, I can travel less, make money, and be home with my families.
Yeah.
It was appealing. It's appealing. You think of people like Ian Poulter, who has, 4 kids at home, and he can just go play golf once a month versus every week, struggling to keep his card and get paid. So, like, who can blame them for doing that?
But, like, does the PGA Tour allow for more opportunity for new golfers then? Right? For new names to pop up.
The PGA Tour for new names? Yeah, for sure.
Right, and, like, that's what you're competing. Like, that is why it is the tour, in my opinion, is it's not...
Right.
Oh, I'm just going to get paid a ton of money to play once a month. Like, you are constantly competing like, with people who are the best players. And, like, you don't have to do that. Like, that is a choice that, somebody can make. Right? But if you want to say, like, I am the best player, why are you not playing? Like, why would you choose not to play on the PGA Tour, I guess?
Right.
Huh?
That makes sense to me.
I don't know.
Well, cool. So we had the John Rahm's, speaking of LIV, and they're down in Mexico City. Jackie was telling me about I didn't see this, but what were you telling me, Jackie?
Let me look up their elevation real quick.
Yeah, so they're playing in
That way I
Mexico
can
City
perspective.
at a higher
Okay.
elevation.
About, 5,200 feet?
7,349 feet. So, the LIV event this week is in Mexico City at very high elevation. So when you're at higher elevation, the ball travels further because the air isn't as dense, right? Like when you hike or something and you go, up, sometimes you need to rest and acclimate to the lack of, condensed oxygen. Well, John Rahm hit a drive, I think it was 467 yards 467 yards. Okay? And you think about that, and you're like, what? And then you're like, okay, well, we're at elevation, right? But they don't talk about the fact that they're in elevation. They just say John Rahm hit a 467-yard drive. So could I. You know what I mean? If I was at the right elevation, so could I.
Right. Get me high enough, I'll hit it that far.
Give me all of it. Give me all of the facts to, like, take in this information. But what I thought was crazy was in the video, like, obviously, you know, he drives the green, whatever. 467 yards, of course you're going to do that. But I'm, like, looking at the pin placement on this green, and it's, like, 3 feet on the green. I'm like, who chose that? You know what I, like, that cannot be legal. Like, were the greens so bad everywhere else, the only place to put this pin was in 3 feet onto the green? Are you kidding me? Which is neither here nor there, but it's just crazy to me. Like, they try so hard to promote LIV, but then they're like, so they go to these places, which is really cool to create these stories, but then you don't get all the information about it, which I think is whatever.
Well, I say, Jack, I remember when you were in high school, playing a high school tournament, and you drove the ball about 300 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it was downhill, and it was the fairway was hard as a rock. I was standing down there seeing where it was going to go, I remember, and your ball came up and hit, and must have bounced 30 feet in the air, and kept right down, hit the downslope, just kept right on rolling. It was like a 315-yard hole. It was like it rolled about 15 yards from the pin. Is like, wow. But then I'm looking uphill, going like, okay, I get it.
Right, but I'm not saying right.
But you want an elevate, but that's the thing. It's like they're at such high elevation, the ball's gonna fly.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's crazy.
Yeah, and just the right situation for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So Jackie, what'd you make on that hole?
You know, I was thinking about that. I think I parred it.
She did.
Hey, that's all right. You know,
at least I didn't bogey it.
Hey, you chip in a 2-putt. That's perfect. You know.
Yeah, I think I unintentionally short-sighted myself too, because it was like I remember the green was like on a hill,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't have a lot of green to work with, and I was just like, oh no. Oh.
That's fantastic. Well, no, I think this has been a great episode. I really appreciate you, Brian, for coming on and hanging out with Jackie and I.
Thank you.
And getting to hear some stories about Jackie as a kid. Maybe I'll have to bring my mom on one day. That would be interesting.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be amazing.
I'll ask her when I'm done here. I'll ask her if she'll do it one day. That'd be kind of funny. She would say some crazy stuff probably about me, but I'll put it in the notes. But no, I think it's been awesome.
The redacted files.
The what?
The redacted files.
Yeah, the redacted files. I think your daughter's amazing. I've told her that 100 times, you know, since I've met her. She's been awesome to work with and, you know, befriend, and, you know, she's been great. So you did a great job raising your daughter, and
thank you.
You know,
yeah,
it's been
and
awesome.
I appreciate you too, being back there with her and helping her out when she was in North Carolina. It's like I was kind of hoping she'd move west after college, but no, she went farther east for a while. Right. It's like but she met some great people and made some great friends.
Yes, she did.
And I think that's awesome.
Yep. Any final thoughts, Jackie?
No, this was such a fun episode. I like the fact that we weren't just bringing, a coach or somebody on to get their opinion on golf. Like, I want to know, Dad, what your thoughts are. Because it provides a new way to look at things that I probably haven't, because I've been so invested in a different viewpoint. Well, I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Brian.
Disclaimer: no work was neglected or missed in the recording of this podcast. Remember, if you hit it off the toe, share the show.
And if you hit it off the heel, share the reel.
Thank you for listening to this episode of VP and an Opinion.
We'll see you next time.